Home for Game 3 at LA Live, tied up at a game apiece.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Big is back. It's bigger. It's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker only at pizzahut.com.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877-710 ESPN.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Tipping off now.
127 to 120, the final score. The Warriors tie up the series in this Western Conference semifinals. Game 3 coming up on Saturday. Lakers will face Golden State, but they'll be back in L.A. for the next two games. Games 3 and 4 be in L.A. No contest really here tonight. Lakers solid first quarter, and that was about it. 127 to 100, a 27-point blowout for the Golden State Warriors. At one point, they were up 32. And after that first quarter, Golden State took control of the game, which, by the way, I mean, very, very desperate Golden State Warriors team. They can't fall 0-2 to the Lakers and lose the first two games at home. So I don't think this is a huge shock that the Warriors won this game. You could say that the shock would be how much the Lakers fell by, and what is a team like the Golden State Warriors, how can they grab some of that momentum and what they do with it. And how much can a game like this carry on to the next one, or it's completely over? And hopefully it is completely over, that nobody pays attention to what happened in Game 2. You just learn from it and move on. Need a break from the everyday? Well, fans, it might be your lucky day, because tonight, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino is giving away a 2-night stay, plus dinner and golf or bowling for two. Make any day your lucky day. Book now at FantasySpringsResort.com. Phone number is 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. If you're out driving around, listening on any of our social platforms or on the app, you could feel free to call into the show. Let's start off the post-game show. I do want to get just a quick reaction here on Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, from Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, his thoughts on the Lakers' 27-point loss.
For us, I think just our stagnation, I felt like, I still have to go back and watch the game. But my gut feeling, my instincts tell to me that my eyes saw us settle a little bit, mishandle the ball some early. We were right there early on, neck and neck. But a couple of possessions got away from us early. And I just thought they did a good job of crowding the paint and not allowing us, trying to prevent us from playing downhill as much. And that in turn affects what we do at the free throw line. So we'll go back to the drawing board and look at different ways we can sustain what we did well and what we've done well over the course of these first two games, and then look at what we can possibly do better.
Of course, new series now, but you lose Game 2 in Memphis after winning Game 1. You get back home. Is there a different type of a sense of your team and how you think that you will respond, and how different are these series and what these opponent challenges are?
And I fully anticipate our team to respond in the right way.
Darvin, AD, 11 points tonight, 11 shots, one free throw attempt. What did you make of Draymond's defense against him? And you referenced crowding the paint. They obviously, anytime he was rolling or trying to catch the ball, there was 2-3 guys around him at all times.
Dre, he's going to do his work early. And, it's the reason why he's a perennial all-defensive player. He's going to force tough catches, and when he's on the ball, he's his own ball activity second to none, and he's a good communicator when if A is not trying to go at him, we're going into a secondary action after getting the ball to A. He's great about that, whether he has to switch or talk his guy through the scenario. He's been top shelf his entire career in that regard. So again, we got to go back, look at ways we can move A around, put him in different spacing, different actions, and just try to diversify his attack.
Darvin, you guys went the entire postseason from the playing round, first round, and Game 1 against Golden State without allowing 40 in a quarter, and you do it second and third quarter today. Where do you think your defense wasn't up to snuff tonight?
I just think just being ready from the ball leaving our shooters' hands, sprinting back in transition, getting matched up, communicating. You make one slip, you miss one assignment, they're going to make you pay. And as I mentioned before, they're probably most dangerous once they give the ball up. And that's when that's when the race starts. I mean, those guys' ability to run around on the floor and their bigs and their facilitators, guys, knowing where they can blindly throw a pass, and that pass is going to be connecting to Clay or Steph or Jordan right in their spot. And they have a lot of pride, a ton of pride. They're a championship ball club for a reason. And, after game one, we fully anticipated them to come out and throw some haymakers, which they did. And, Clay got off. He was seeing the ball go in early and often. So, again, we got our work cut out for us. But, you don't get to this point in the season by it being easy. You have to buckle down, do your homework, look at ways, the W's and L's, the wisdom and losses, lessons. Look at ways you can get better from it and try not to make the same mistakes twice.
All right, that's Lakers head coach Darvin Ham right there. Phone number is 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. Let's take a quick break. We'll take some phone calls and start hearing from some of these Laker players when we come back. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show. Lakers lose to the Warriors 127-100 on 710.
The smokin' good times are back at Morongo on May 21st. Enjoy cigars from the world's finest vendors, scotch sampling, delicious food, hosted by big game James Worthy. Get tickets now on Ticketmaster. Morongo, good times.
Hut Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line.
Presented by Pizza Hut.
Big is back. It's bigger, it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker only at pizzahut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Visit vistapaint.com and start saving. Lakers points in the paint battle. Big difference than the last game. I think it was 52-24 last game. This game, 48-42. Advantage Golden State Warriors. Advantage in the game, Golden State Warriors, 127-100. I want to take a couple phone calls here, and then we'll get to a couple of these Laker players. Let's go to Daniel in L.A. Daniel, what's going on?
Hey, Alan, Sliwa, how are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, you know what? Sorry, man. I didn't even know I was going to get put on the radio until they told me. I thought I was just calling in to vent, but I was just upset. You know, I know they lost by 30, and I know it's not all the refs because of the calls, but I know they didn't get a lot their way, and that was just bothering me so much because, you know, I know the Lakers are strong, and I was telling the other gentleman on the other line that put me on, you know, it's just not, you know, I'm a big-time Lakers fan. I grew up in Los Angeles. Yeah, I love the Warriors and everything, too. You know, I love what they've done, but I was upset, you know. We got them good on the first one. It was a good game. But, you know, a lot of calls didn't go our way. Everything went towards them. It seems like everybody on the radio station, I've been watching. I hear you guys all day. I've been listening to ESPN. Everyone was going against the Lakers.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, Daniel. I think, and I appreciate you calling in. We appreciate you listening to the station as well. I don't know if it has more to do with when you say a lot of people are going against the Lakers on the radio station. It's the Golden State Warriors. It's a really, really good team. And the Lakers already took game one. So I don't think it was – I mentioned this earlier today too, that I'd be shocked if the Lakers won game two. I said that because of their opponent. They're taking on the defending NBA champs who are already down 0-1. If you're the Lakers, before the series started, I think you're all asking, just get a split in Golden State or in San Francisco. The one thing I'll say about the refereeing, I know it might have seemed, you know, Lakers aren't getting many calls. How come more of these calls aren't going their way? I didn't pay as much attention to the referees. I paid more attention to the Lakers' lack of defense. They didn't play any defense for 2 straight quarters. Second quarter, they gave up 41 points. Third quarter, they gave up 43. They didn't have, I think actually I heard Mike Trudell ask this question to Darvin Ham. They didn't give up, or maybe it was Dave McMenamin, they didn't have a 40-point quarter that they gave up so far in the playoffs. They had 2 of them tonight. So that obviously tells a lot right there. Gives you a clear indication of which team was controlling the game. Steve in Venice. Steve, appreciate you calling in. All right, let's go to
Steve,
go ahead, buddy.
And obviously, I love Daniel's passion, by the way. I think, obviously, Daniel's a true Lakers fan. I think for anybody watching, obviously, it's a win. We took 1 game, right, out of 2. No one thought we would win unless AD threw up 40 or 50 points. My concern with the loss, and again, I don't want to judge losses, but the fact that Darvin Ham can't make adjustments, so instead of losing by 20-something, lose by 15, I'm very concerned with his lack of play calling. Like, I get the defense, but I'm just concerned about his leadership. I mean, what's your thought on his coaching ability?
So I'll tell you this, and we knew this was going to happen. I appreciate you calling in, Steve. Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors, one of the things that makes them so great, they make fantastic adjustments. Watch them game to game. This is the first time we've faced the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs under this regime. And in this 10-year window that the Warriors have been so dominating, watch every single game how they make their adjustments. So I'm going to answer your question this way. You said, what did you think of Darvin Ham and his adjustments? Well, they won game 1, they lost game 2. Now it's the Lakers' turn to make some adjustments. Let's see what happens in game 3. Let's see how the Lakers look to kind of, in this game of chess, how they look to come back. You kind of knew there was a little bit of an indication that the Warriors might go small. The Warriors might spread the floor out a little bit. They go JaMychal Green in the starting lineup. I don't know if that's going to change. I guess Kevon Looney had some kind of a illness, so I don't know if it's going to change, but I do know that they can make Anthony Davis less effective around the basket if they got more shooters, and I think that was part of their game plan to start the game off tonight. All right, let's take a quick listen here. Here's Tristan Thompson on the Lakers' loss to the Golden State Warriors.
Tristan, just first in thoughts of kind of getting on the floor, seeing how you felt physically, getting up and down. What are your thoughts on that?
No, it feels good to be out there. Of course, I'd rather be up 30 than down 30, but, as a pro, you got to stay ready. That's what all the guys did. We give a lot of credit to our coaching staff to do the stay ready runs yesterday. We've been doing it in between days of games just for us to stay ready, because you never know with a long, deep playoff run, knock on wood. So they just try to keep us fresh and just come out there and just have respect for the game and go out there and play.
Yeah, you know this Warriors team pretty well. You knew they were going to respond a certain way in Game 2. Just kind of what were you anticipating that they did, and what are some of the things that you guys got to adjust to a little quicker?
I mean, I knew coming into this game that we're going to get a heavy dose of Clay and stuff. At the end of the day, their approach for, being down 0-1 with Game 2 at their house, the last thing they want to do is go down 0-2 from the crib. So we knew they're going to play like how they played against Sacramento Game 7, leave it all out there. If it means they had to play 48 minutes, they'll do it. We weathered the first quarter storm. Second quarter, the first 6 minutes, he pulled Steph out with 2 minutes left in the first and put him back in the big in the second to play with that second unit. And, Clay and him kept shooting, made shots in the second quarter and put themselves in position. And in the third quarter, we weren't able to weather that storm, and that was the game right there.
Yeah, what's that challenge with them? It looked like they were giving Steph the ball earlier almost, so you couldn't, Vando couldn't just keep them ball denial, and, then they were playing in the 4-on-3, getting how much, yeah.
We'll make adjustments. That's the nature of this in the playoffs, right? We had a game plan Game 1. It worked for us. They made their adjustments going into Game 2, and now it's on us to look back at the film, see whether or not the adjustments we need to make, or if we didn't have the same effort as in Game 1, so we'll see. And we'll get ready to play at home on Saturday.
You've been through so many of these, and the not get too high, not get too low thing, because you've been through it. But for some of the younger guys, how can you impart that message to help them be prepared for the ebbs and flows of the series?
Yeah, this series is going to be a boxing match. We won the first round. They won the second. You just got to stay with it. This is a very unique team. They shoot. Think about it. Game 1, we try to limit their threes, and they still got off 50 attempts. So that just shows you right there that they rather take threes than twos. Even if you chase them off the line, they're going to try to find a way to get three-point shots up, and that's what makes their team different than the rest of the league. Even though a lot of teams in the league try to copy them, nobody can copy the two best shooters that ever played a game. So got to make our adjustments. This is part of the playoffs, a great learning experience. And now we go back home and protect home court.
All right, that's Tristan Thompson right there. Lakers lose 127-100. We'll take more of your phone calls. We're going to get a little different perspective. When we come back, we'll get a chance to hear from the Golden State Warriors head coach, Steve Kerr, on what the Warriors did, what was so different from their game plan. We'll do that coming up next. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
listening to the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. The Los Angeles Lakers on 710 ESPN.
Presented by Pizza Hut.
Big is back. It's bigger, it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal.
Big New Yorker only at pizzahut.com.
Once again,
Here's Alan Sliwa.
127-100, the final score. A couple different ways to look at this loss tonight. Number one, incredibly disappointing because of how much the Lakers lost by. The defense was bad. The offense was bad. AD didn't show up. The other way to look at it is series tied at 1 apiece. Come back to L.A. and see what the Lakers can do in games 3 and 4. It all starts on Saturday night. It's going to be an incredible vibe there at Crypto, but an interesting game. Just interesting in the sense that it wasn't close. You didn't walk into the fourth quarter in a couple possession game, and the Golden State Warriors really, by the time we got to halftime, just took control of the game. This is a little bit different of a perspective. I want to get a chance here to play the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. So let's get Steve Kerr's thoughts on what the Warriors did, what was part of their approach and their game plan tonight.
The second and third quarters were obviously huge quarters for you guys. What did you think turned it there? What happened in those two quarters?
I thought we just played simple basketball, kept our turnovers down, moved the ball. Our guys were playing with a lot of force, a lot of aggressiveness, but making good decisions within that aggression, and that's the key. Can you find that balance? Can you play with pace and confidence, and yet make really simple decisions, hit singles, and just move the ball? I thought Steph was brilliant. In the first half, he wasn't really going like offensively, but he was just running our team, and Clay got it going, and our defense was kind of fueling our offense, and we connected the game really well.
Coach, obviously, Klay Thompson was spectacular tonight.
Where am I looking?
Right here.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. But JaMychal Green, he seemed to have been one of the adjustments made from game 1 to game 2. And, 15 points, 12 minutes, 50% from 3. It seemed that he helped spacing on the floor. What would you say about the fact that you decided to go with him in the starting lineup and then later, and how much he helped you guys tonight?
Well, number one, I'm just proud of J. Mike. It's been a tough year for him, for a lot of reasons. He missed some time with a few different ailments, and then when he was healthy, he was out of the rotation. I didn't play him a whole lot. And he just stayed ready, and he took advantage of his opportunity. And this seemed like a series for him, just with the way the Lakers are playing us defensively. And I couldn't be happier for J. Mike. He's really earned this by just staying positive and staying ready.
We talked a lot about the free throw discrepancy after last game. The Lakers took more than 10 less. You guys took about 10 more, I think. What did you see from your aggressiveness, assertiveness that you guys were focusing on after game 1?
Yeah, we did a better job of defending without fouling and staying aggressive. I'm sitting here looking at the game 1 box score right here. So this says they outscored us 29-6 from the foul line. So Raymond Ritter clearly did not put the right box score next to the podium. So, do you have it? Do you have game 2? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have someone competent who can get the right box score next to me. Thank you.
All right, that's Warriors head coach Steve Kerr going at his public relations director. How about that? All right, so he gives a little bit of his thoughts, what the game plan was. Talk about the free throws, being a little bit more aggressive. JaMychal Green getting the start, 15 points in 13 minutes. I thought JaMychal Green played a lot more. I didn't even realize he played so little because he was so effective on the floor. Let's take a couple phone calls, and we're going to go to Rui Hachimura. Ken in Newport Beach. Ken, what's going on?
Hi, Alan. So I'm a bit confused. AD went from being Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Kwame Brown in 48 hours. And then Darvin Ham went from being a 9-year head coach world champion like Steve Kerr to a guy who was a first-year coach and had no idea how to make adjustments during the game. What did I miss in this whole thing?
Well, Ken, I think that's kind of what both of them, I think, up to this point have been. By the way, I appreciate you calling in. The Anthony Davis, this isn't the first time it's happened where AD's got a really nice game and then the next time around he doesn't show up. I'll tell you something. Draymond Green basically told him right out the gate, I'm going to be physical with you. I'm going to take away that space. I'm going to try to do everything I can to make sure you don't get any type of rhythm. And are you going to do something about it? And Anthony Davis did not do anything about it. And we've seen that from Anthony Davis a number of different times this year. So I don't think you should be shocked by that. The real adjustment I'm hoping to see from Darvin Ham is what do you do from games 2 to 3? Because Steve Kerr from game 1 to 2 and even the end of game 1 made some adjustments there where the Warriors almost stole game 1. But the Lakers ended up, obviously winning that game. So I think the big adjustment's going to be how does Darvin Ham and his coaching staff adjust from game 2 to game 3. Chris in L.A., what's going on, Chris?
Hello. So we lost because of the free throws. We weren't aggressive enough in the paint, and because of that, we weren't allowing the Lakers to set up on defense since we weren't hitting the free throw line enough. And AD wasn't in rhythm. We need to run more pick and rolls, whether it's D'Lo, LBJ, or Reeves and AD to open it up. And Vando doesn't have to settle for those threes. He could drive in and dish out once he comes in or hit that layup. He doesn't have to fall in love with that shot.
Chris, I appreciate you calling in. Listen, for me, offense wasn't the issue tonight. I don't only put up 100 points. The second and the third quarter, you gave up 84 points total. The Lakers have played defense, and they've relied on their defense, and they gave up 127 points with the Warriors not trying in the fourth quarter and only having 17 points. So, to me, 110 points through 3 quarters talks a lot more about the Lakers' defense than their offense. All right, here's Rui Hachimura, who, by the way, had a really nice game. Rui ended up with 21 points, 8 of 14 from the field, hit 4 threes.
Rui, what did you feel on the court were the biggest adjustments that Golden State made, and how did you think that impacted things?
I think they made it small. They changed the starter, and offensively they open up the floor, and it was hard for us to guard. 4 shooters, and defensively they were more aggressive. I feel like they had all the loose balls and the rebounds and everything. So yeah, that was a game. Yeah.
You were still able to find your rhythm, shooting and offense at 4 threes in the first half. Where have you gotten to the point of comfort with your game and kind of how you're fitting into your team?
No, I was just being ready. It was all good looks, and then my teammates, made a good pass, and then I was just ready to shoot, and it was like a practice shot for me. Yeah.
Rui, how did you see them adjust with AD? Darvin mentioned them kind of crowding the paint, and really anytime he was trying to catch the ball, there's 2-3 guys around him. But just the way after you dropped 30 in game 1, just kind of seeing how they adjusted.
Yeah, they were for sure crapping the paint tonight, and I think they made a good adjustment for sure. Now it's our time to adjust, man. Next game is going to be very important for us. They might gonna do the same thing. Maybe they'll change it. We don't know, but we gotta figure it out tomorrow. We're gonna watch film. So yeah, we just gotta figure it out. Yeah.
Rui, you guys have been so good defensively over the last month plus. Hadn't given up a 40-point quarter the entire postseason until the night you gave up 2. Where do you think the defensive breakdown was? Was it that a product of the amount of threes that they're taking? You think that's where they were kind of breaking you guys down?
Yeah, it was just there was 4 shooters, on the court at the same time. The first game, I think there was maybe 2 or 3 shooters, at the same time, and they made adjustment. And then, we just got to figure out, the way to guard them, they open up the floor now. So, we just got to play together, watch film and get back on the game 3.
All right, that's Rui Hachimura right there. And we come back, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they spoke together. We'll get that coming up next. Lakers lose 127-100. Series tied at 1 apiece. Stay right here. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hut Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game.
And your reaction on the Lakers line. Presented by Pizza Hut.
Big is back. It's bigger, it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker. Only at PizzaHut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, let's take a couple quick phone calls here. We'll go to D'Angelo Russell. We got LeBron and Anthony Davis still. They spoke together. Patrick in Pasadena. Patrick, what'd you think of tonight's 27-point loss to the Golden State Warriors?
Well, I didn't expect the Lakers to win 2 in a row up there, but I think we have to regroup for coming home and use the crowd's energy. But I'd just like to say that, Darvin Ham, he's on the learning curve, and you got to give him a break. But I think that he's lacking in being able to call the right timeouts and calling plays to people, because in the second half he should have made sure that Davis got the ball more and was shooting the ball more, and he didn't do that. So to me, that's a coaching error.
I appreciate you calling in. I will say this. I know sometimes Lakers win a game, everybody was great. Lakers lose a game, no one knows what they're doing. I know there's that natural reaction, but I got a difficult one. That one's a tough one for me. Anthony Davis does not need to – he took 11 shots. He took 1 free throw. I mean, you want to put that on the coach. You want to put that on a veteran player that's been in this league who's won an NBA championship. That I put that more on AD. I really do believe this. Draymond Green was going to set a tone right out the gate with AD, and it was up to Anthony Davis to respond to it or to back down. I felt like he backed down. That was my observation on that. Leon in Beverly Hills. What's going on, Leon?
Hey, Alan. Hey, coming into this series, I figured that, Curry's pretty much unguardable. So we need to figure out actually how to stop Klay Thompson, who's more guardable than Curry, because Thompson is more of kind of coming off of screens and pretty much taking those threes. So to me, what they did is they adjusted with Davis, and they put Draymond on him, and they affected that matchup. We need to affect the matchup on Thompson. We need to figure out something that works on Thompson. What are your thoughts?
I don't disagree with you. Klay is, Michael always says this, that the Golden State Warriors are at their best when Klay's hitting. And it just adds this different dynamic to their team. And you're right, Klay Thompson's not going to bring the ball up the floor 90 feet from the basket and create for his own. That's not his game. Listen, he can post up a little bit. He can pump fake you from the three-point line, take a couple dribbles in. I'm not saying he's only a spot-up shooter, but he's not as dangerous, of course, as Steph Curry. Whatever that game plan is on Klay, I don't disagree with you. If Klay drops 30, it's going to be really tough to beat the Golden State Warriors because Steph is still going to find a way to get his. They had every player in the starting lineup scoring double figures, so I think that's a fair point on your side. Here's D'Angelo Russell on the Lakers' loss.
Well, D'Angelo, I'm sure you expected Golden State to respond to Game 1. What did they do differently that you felt like started to slip for you guys in the second quarter?
They made a bunch of shots. They shot, like 50 from 3 or something, 50 for the game. Simple as that. You shoot the ball, make shots at a high clip, you got a good chance of winning.
Aside from adjustments and what you'll do to counter what they did, what did you learn in that first series, winning Game 1, losing Game 2, going home, kind of the importance of staying locked in a certain way?
It's a familiar position to be in. We got one in Memphis, came back, took care of home court. I think they got one, and we had a chance from that point on. I think we had the advantage going into Game 6. So whatever we can do is just stay locked in and just stay the course.
So you guys want to try to limit their threes, but they're not going to just exceed to that. So what are the ways that you can still try to counter what they're doing from the three-point line?
Just make it tougher. Make it tougher. Hope they miss.
Is this an easier kind of look at the film, flush it, because you got that first game and you got the split?
Sure. I mean, I think you learn something from every game. Going from game to game, obviously they're going to make adjustments and do little things that it's going to give them an advantage. So as far as washing down the drain, we're going to take something from this, get something from it, bring that with us to the next game.
All right, that's D'Angelo Russell right there. Let's take one more quick call. We got LeBron and AD next. McGee in San Pedro. What's going on, McGee? All right, let's go to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Lakers lose by 27. Here's LeBron and AD.
LeBron, you said after Game 1 you were anticipating some differences in Golden State in Game 2. What did you find to be the most effective, whether Steph having the ball more or the way that they defended AD? What stood out to you?
They made the adjustments, and we knew they were going to do that. That's what a championship team does, and they held serve on their home court tonight, and we got to obviously see the adjustments they make. We got to make our adjustments coming into Game 3.
And AD, just same question for you. Draymond started on you last game. Obviously, it was Looney. They played a little different on the other end as well with the spread offense. How did that impact you? Did you feel like?
I don't think so. I mean, I took all the same shots I took in Game 1. Just missed them. Elbow jumpers, pocket passes to the floater, same exact looks. Didn't shoot no shot that I didn't shoot in Game 1. Just missed them. That's all. Like Bon said, they made adjustments. Shot the ball extremely well from 3. So we'll be better. I'll be better. Making those shots. Get back home on our home floor, and try to take care of business.
This question's for either of you, but where did you feel like the game kind of slipped away tonight? Was it the third quarter when they made 8 threes and dropped 40-plus, or was it kind of right before halftime, or what did you see with that?
Yeah, I mean, going into half, up 11, went on the run. And then obviously third quarter, we know they're a big third quarter team. Came out on fire, had 43 in the third, and also 41 in the second. So it's not like us on the defensive end to give up those type of quarters. So we got to be better defensively, but I think, going to halftime, when they made that run, just kind of, where it kind of, got away from us.
LeBron, you've seen them go on crazy runs in games in all your battles with them. What's sort of the key to not letting those build and stack, and how do you kind of have to combat that?
You got to keep scoring, get to the free throw line as well, or just get points in the paint. They're going to go on runs. That's what they do. But you got to keep scoring, try to hold the fort down, obviously. But you give credit where credit is due. They played exceptionally well tonight, and we didn't. And the series is tied 1-1, so that's where we're at.
LeBron, you guys have been one of the best defensive team in the league over the last month plus, but the teams you played in the league, the Warriors are pretty unique the way they play compared to the rest of the league, with their personnel and continuity and all that. So what do you think it will take to make your defense shine as much as it has against this specific team?
Well, we still are. That doesn't change. We're still the best defensive team in the league, if not one of them. So that doesn't change, and that's what we hang our hats on. But like I said, you give credit where credit is due. Clay was spectacular tonight, and Draymond was great in the pocket pass with the rolls and things of that nature. Jermichael gave him big time minutes. Those 12 minutes felt like 24 minutes, 30 minutes. He was big time for their team in the starting role tonight too. So you give credit, like I said, where credit is due, and we move on to the next game. But our defense is that's where we hang our hat, and and that doesn't stop no matter who we're playing against.
How do you guys feel? Obviously, neither of you played in the fourth quarter. Did you come out of this thing all right? And did you feel that you contested their three-pointers enough in this game? Obviously, they're a great shooting team, but they made a lot of threes.
We feel great, and we contested threes.
AD, when they go small, obviously it stretches the defense and gets shooters to the corners, but does that change the way they were able to defend you guys too, with their movement and even though they were smaller, did you feel like they were more active in passing lanes and things like that?
Yeah, I think they're a little bit more active in the pocket. They kind of clogged the paint, in our pocket passes that were pretty open game one, and it didn't help that we didn't really shoot the ball well from three. So we start, making those shots, making those threes. It'd be tough for them to pull in and kind of take away those pocket passes and us playing in the paint. So that's all I think it was. They made an emphasis on making sure that they tried to find the guys on the perimeter, on the three-point line and clog the paint up a little bit.
All right, that's LeBron James, Anthony Davis on the 27-point loss to the Golden State Warriors, 127-100. Our next broadcast, Lakers and the Warriors, will be here at Crypto, Game 3, series tied at 1 apiece. We'll start our local coverage at 4, tip-off set for 5:30. We got all our local shows tomorrow, so make sure to tune in. Shout out here to Michael Funches, Rebecca Womble, Laura Romo, and Cody Lou for handling everything on the social side. Again, we'll have so much more to talk about as far as this Lakers loss, what's coming up in Game 3. Make sure you start tuning in tomorrow morning. Appreciate everybody being a part of the show. I'm Alan Sliwa. This has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
And the Warriors of the series. The series heads home for Game 3 at LA Live, tied up at a game apiece.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by
Driven by Subaru of Glendale, the number